Hi there. Welcome to a demo of the Sourced Enterprise Edition. What you're looking at here is the business intelligence front end to the Sourced Data Lake, a data lake that covers data sources from across your entire software development lifecycle. Let's take a quick look around. What we're seeing here is a global activity health index, the speed of your development, and a breakdown of the programming languages that can be found in your code over time. Here what we're looking at is the largest 10 repositories and how healthy they are in terms of activity. Down here we see the evolution of those projects and several more charts related to the throughput from issue to closing, throughput per developer. Now let's have a look at some of the other dashboards that are here. If I want to understand code review across my organization, I can have a look here and look at metrics of the amount of percentages of developers that are actually engaged in code review, how many average number of reviewers are there per code review, time spent from the beginning till merging a code review, how much code review goes without feedback, etc., etc. We can go and drill down even a level below and look at the pull requests. How many developers are using pull requests? What are the most active repositories? What is the time that we take to actually merge those projects? And how does that time differ based on the size of the pull request or the size of the code? Now let's start having a look a little bit at some of the artifacts that exist in our software development lifecycle. We have containers. Here we're looking at the base image of the top 50 containers across the organization and at the most used packages inside those containers. But let's have a little bit of a look at the code. Here we're looking at dependencies. The largest dependencies across the organizations. As you can see here, Go Mega is imported in over 20,000 files today. And also a classification and breakdown of those dependencies for several languages. So here we see that 90% in this case is related to cloud, 6% of that is related to microservices, 6% related to logging, and about 25% of the dependencies actually related to APIs. Now let's have a look at the fastest growing and the fastest declining dependencies across the organization. This is a great way to start seeing how shadow IT bubbles up in your org. Prometheus, the logging library, happens to be the fastest growing dependency currently at Cloud Foundry, and the fastest declining one is the Segment API. If we go and look at a little bit of a layer below that, we can also start looking at code. Here you see some charts that look at the cryptography libraries across the org, the most used functions in those libraries, and even the ability to go all the way down to the files where they exist. So if I do a search here for SHA-256, I'll find all the places where the SHA-256 library is being used. And if I want to see where the verify functions are being used, I can do that as well. Now let's have a little bit of a look at what's blocking this organization. The top pending bugs, the top pending features, the top pending pull requests, and some of the compliance files that are actually missing across these 800 repositories. In short, Sourced is a powerful data platform that underneath of it has a lot of different data sources that allow you to build your own charts and your own queries. So here what we're looking at is the Git repositories represented as tables. So let's have a look at the commits across our organization. Here we can see them. However, if I want to start understanding something from the source code, you can take advantage of Sourced Universal ASTs, a unique and universal language format that turns source code into an annotated abstract syntax tree. What that essentially means is if I'm trying to extract all arguments to all functions, I'm trying to see if functions are commented, I'm trying to see if something is imported somewhere, I can just include that in my query. Here we have a query that's looking to take all the comments out of all the files in head, excluding the vendor folder, excluding extremely large files, and excluding any comments and files that don't have them. So let's run this query. And as you can see, we're running this right now over 10,000 files. So while you see that this ran in about 3-4 seconds, parsing over 10,000 files and extracting the repository, the date, the file, and the comments that exist in them as an array. I mentioned universal ASTs. Inside Source, there's a playground where you can start understanding them and playing with them. If I look at a piece of Java code here in the imports, I can see here that there's an import node on the right side in our semantic UAST, and I can go and filter on all of those. I can likewise do this for any other type of file or any other language that's supported. I hope this was a great introduction, and I hope you started getting a peek into what Sourced is able to offer. This is only a small sneak peek of the kind of dashboards that we offer and the kind of data sources. Everything from HR data to ticketing data to data that exists in your version control system, source code, build system, or artifacts like containers or packages can be added as a data source and queried within Sourced. Thank you very much.